Hi, today we are going to continue in the method book with line 58, Erie Canal Capers on the Trumpet. So I'm going to point out a few things, we're going to look at some patterns, and then we are going to get started. So I hope you're able to play along with me. So at the beginning, as always, we have our treble clef, and our time signature is 4/4 time, which means we have 4 beats in every measure, and then the bottom number tells us the value of the whole note if we had one. So if the whole note were to get 4 beats, half of a whole is half of 4 is 2, so half notes would get 2 beats. Half of a half is a quarter, half of 2 is 1, so the quarter notes get 1 beat each, as well as the quarter rests. And finally, the eighth note, half of a quarter is an eighth, and half of 1 is half, not 0. So the eighth notes get a half beat each, or as you can see, they're all beamed in pairs, and that means it takes 2 of them to equal a single beat like a quarter note. Next up, knowing that we have 4 beats in a measure, we have this measure here with just 1 note in it, 1 beat, and that is a pickup, also known as an anacrusis. So if we are starting on a single beat here, the rest of the measure is here at the end. 1, 2, 3. So we are starting on beat 4 instead of the downbeat of measure 1. All right, so now we are starting at the very beginning, and we're going to go in phrases. So we start on second space A, first and second valve. Then we have 2 quarter note Ds, 1 and 3, kick out that third valve slide. Then we have Fs, Gs, and A. So I'm going to play just that first phrase. And 1, 2. And that is your first phrase. The same thing happens again, except the rhythms are a little different. If you start here on the very last note of the first line, there's that same A. We have the same Ds, but instead of quarter, eighth, eighth, we have eighth, eighth, quarter. And same thing on the Gs, eighth, eighth, quarter, and then we end on an A. So this phrase will be just a little bit different. 1, 2. Now we're going to back up to the second phrase that starts after the quarter rest, and we start on eighth note A's, followed by 2 quarter note A's, and then we have 2 eighth note D's, 2 eighth note F's, E, D. And that second phrase will go like this. 1, 2, ready. And then if I need a breath, that's going to be a good place to take it because that's the end of that second phrase. If you compare it to the last 2 measures, same notes, but the rhythm is slightly different with the A's. So we start with a quarter, 2 eighths, and a quarter, instead of starting with 2 eighths, 2 quarters. So the last 2 measures will go like this. 1, 2, ready. Woo. So now I'm going to go at the beginning. I'm going to put the whole thing together, and I hope you're able to play along. I'm going to put on a metronome at 96 beats per minute, so it's not very fast. And I'll count off, and hopefully you can play with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. And that is line 58, Erie Canal Capers on the Trumpet. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you next time.